Slavery was banned in India in 1976, right? Then explain this. 51 million construction workers in India, with 30% facing forced labor conditions where they can't leave, can't complain, and work 12 to 14 hours daily for wages that never come on time. Research found that 96% of workers receive cash advances from contractors and then they are forced to work them off. These advances cover travel and family expenses but become wage deductions that trap workers for months. You see them every day building your apartment, your office, your mall, but what you don't see is how the debt trap system keeps them working like modern slaves. Today, I'll show you how this affects every building in India. Later, I'll also show you how factory-based precast lifts workers out of this trap and delivers safer, faster, and higher quality buildings. Have you ever wondered what happens to the construction workers after your building is complete? You drive past construction sites daily. You see workers in hard hats or maybe no hard hats, mixing cement, carrying bricks, welding metal frames. But here's what you don't see: where these workers sleep at night, how much they actually get paid, and whether they can ever leave that site. Walk into any construction project in Mumbai, Delhi, or Bangalore, you will find families living under plastic sheets tied to a bamboo pole right next to your building site, with no proper toilets, no electricity, and children playing in dirt while their parents work above them on dangerous scaffolding. The numbers tell a darker story. Research shows 96% of construction workers take advance money from contractors before starting work. Sounds helpful, right? Wrong. This advance becomes a chain around their necks. 99.6 of these workers receive no written contract, no job security, no legal protection. They work because they owe money. They owe money because they need to work. Here's how the trap works. Ram from Odisha needs money for his daughter's medical treatment. A contractor offers him 20,000 rupees advance and promises good wage in Gurgaon. Ram takes the money. Now he owes 20,000 rupees. The contractor pays him 300 rupees per day but deducts 150 for food and shelter. Ram works 12 hours daily, sometimes 14 when deadlines approach. His 5-year-old son helps carry water to workers because the family needs every rupee they can get. After 8 months, Ram still owes money. The contractor says food costs increased, shelter costs increased, transport costs increased. Ram can't leave because he still owes money. He can't complain because he needs the work. When this project ends, the contractor moves Ram to another site in another city. This debt continues. The cycle never breaks. This isn't happening to a few workers in remote areas. This affects the people building your apartment complexes right now. The man installing your bathroom tiles probably hasn't been paid his full wages in 3 months. The woman cleaning construction debris lives in a tent with her 3 children just 50 meters from your future bedroom window. The construction industry employs more people than any other sector except agriculture. Yet, working conditions remain stuck in the 19th century. Safety equipment costs money, so workers don't get it. Proper housing costs money, so workers don't get it. Fair wages cost money, so workers don't get them. A 2019 GFEMS study of 17,000 migrant workers found 30% experience forced labor indicators. They cannot leave their workplace freely. They work under threat of penalty. Their identity documents get held by employers. This meets the legal definition of modern slavery, but the consequences reach far beyond these workers themselves. When workers are treated like slaves, the buildings they create become dangerous for everyone who lives and works inside them. This isn't just about human rights anymore. This is about structural safety of every apartment, office building, and shopping mall being constructed across India today. Worker exploitation creates a direct cycle that compromises construction quality at every level. When contractors prioritize cheap labor over skilled labor, they hire workers with no proper training. Research shows that fewer than 10% of construction workers receive formal training or certification. These untrained workers handle complex tasks like steel reinforcement, concrete mixing, and electrical installations without understanding the technical requirements that keep buildings safe. Consider what happens when exhausted workers operate heavy machinery after working 14-hour shifts. Their concentration drops, their hands shake from fatigue, they make measurement errors that affect foundation strength. They skip safety procedures to finish faster because they know delayed completion means no payment. Workers rushing to complete tasks before sunset often compromise on concrete curing time, steel placement accuracy, and joint sealing quality. The piece rate payment system makes this worse. Workers get paid per thousand bricks laid or per square meter completed, not per hour worked. This system pushes them to prioritize speed over precision. The Karak study found that skilled workers earn 30% less under piece rate systems compared to hourly wages. To compensate for low pay, workers cut corners. They use less cement and mortar. They skip proper foundation leveling. They install electrical wiring without following safety codes. High worker turnover creates another quality problem. Construction sites lose 40 to 50% of their workforce every few months because workers leave seeking better conditions or overdue payments. New workers arrive with different skill levels and no knowledge of previous work standards. Nobody takes responsibility for long term quality because nobody stays long enough to see the project completion. You've experienced this quality crisis personally. Construction projects that should finish in 18 months stretch to 36 months because workers abandon sites due to unpaid wages. Your new apartment develops cracks within 2 years because stressed workers made structural errors. Your office building's plumbing falls repeatedly because installation was rushed by untrained hands. Poor construction quality creates massive economic costs for building owners. Maintenance expenses increase by 40 to 60% when initial construction standards are compromised. Safety hazards lead to legal liability issues. The building code violations stemming from poor workmanship cost the construction industry billions annually. Traditional construction's human cost translates directly into compromised buildings that endanger public safety. Every unpaid wage creates motivation for shortcuts that could cause catastrophic failure. The solution exists right now, and it's transforming how buildings get made while restoring dignity to construction workers. Precast concrete technology transforms construction from chaotic sites into controlled factory environments. McKinsey data shows factory-based precast cuts in-field labor by up to 50%, directly reducing debt bondage risk by slashing on-site workforce needs. Components like walls, beams, columns, slabs get manufactured in specialized facility with proper equipment, trained supervisors, and safety protocols. Workers receive coveralls, ID badges, and formal job titles. Data shows 90% of firms implementing safety training see a 15% productivity bump. They operate in clean, well-lit spaces with adequate ventilation, proper toilets, and well-designated break areas. Factory workers get specialized titles like concrete technicians, quality inspector, mold specialist, instead of generic labels like laborer. These specialized skills command higher wages and creates career advancement opportunities. The dignity factor extends beyond uniforms and titles. Precast factory workers received fixed monthly salary ranging from 18 to 35,000 rupees depending on skill level and experience. Now people might jump into the comments saying, how do these guys get work if you reduce labor in a precast factory? India needs a lot of factories and there's a requirement for a lot of these people to be trained. In order for them to get jobs, they will get on-site training. Companies will start offering free trainings so that they can get into the job role that they need to be in. The precast industry in the Middle East or anywhere else in the world hires Indians. And if you go to any of those factories, majority of the workers and management are Indians. Therefore, it's not a skill problem, it is just a mindset problem. The profits on these construction projects are sometimes 10 to 20 folds. So increasing salaries a bit or providing a little bit of safety on site and in the production factory will not reduce your overall profit by much. The wages I spoke about earlier bridges the gap from traditional construction where average monthly earnings are 11,200 rupees, and this falls much below the minimum wage. In a factory system, payment arrives on scheduled dates through bank transfers, not cash handouts through contractors. Workers sign proper employment contracts specifying working hours, overtime rate, leave policy, and safety responsibility. Career growth becomes realistic in factory environments. Entry level workers advance to machine operators with 6 months training. Experienced operators become shift supervisors, managing a team of 10 to 15 workers. Technical specialists handle quality control, ensuring each concrete component meets engineering specifications. These advancement paths create long term employment stability impossible in traditional construction. Family stability improves dramatically when workers don't migrate seasonally between construction sites. Factory workers live in permanent housing near their workplace. Their children attend regular schools instead of changing schools every few months, or some never even go to schools. Wives can pursue their own employment opportunities. GFEMS Pratham results show that trained micro contractors who paid workers on time, provided safety gear, and maintained proper site conditions saw lower forced labor risks. Building on these learnings, trained micro contractor models employed over 3,000 workers with fewer forced labor risks, demonstrating how our approach creates ethical businesses that are also profitable through reduced turnover, higher productivity, and superior quality control. This represents more than technological advancement. It's proof that construction can operate through dignity rather than desperation. The choice between these two approaches shapes every building project across India. Every construction project now faces this reality. 30% of the workers face forced labor risks, and 99.6 lakh written contracts. This is not just a worker crisis, it's your project risk. Construction entrepreneurs, you have the power to choose between perpetuating modern slavery or creating dignified employment through precast technology. McKinsey data shows precast raises profitability through faster schedules and fewer defects, cutting labor needs by 50%. Every factory you establish gives workers proper training, safety equipment, and fair wages instead of debt traps and dangerous conditions. If you build with precast, you are choosing dignified, skilled teams and a higher quality structure.